Welcome, traders and investors around the world. Welcome to the closing print here on this Friday, October 20th. This is going to be a doozy. S&Ps just had a low of 55.50, which was hanging up for a long time. I was hoping for 51.50. We just undercut that low, going to 53 and three quarters. Now we're back up in a 42.60 handle. Who knows if this is just another a dead cat bounce to finish on the lows. But 53 is finding some support here in the lower 42.53 handle. The buck. The buck is down about a nickel, 105.98. Kind of just a blah week on this. For the dollar futures, we'll be looking at the 105.75 area, a couple lows in that area. Well, the bonds are trying to help out today, and the market really doesn't care. The bonds are up a little over a half a point at 108 and 15/30. Reversal in crude here, down 8 cents after getting nearly to the $90 handle. We're down 9 cents, 88.28. Gold did hit the 2K. It went to 2009.20, and I didn't sell it, and I'll be regretting it. But still up 12.80, 19.93.30. Silver in the green, much more on a percentage basis, almost four times. That's up 52 cents, 23.54 and a half. Bitcoin, that was having a great day, but still having a good day considered, all things considered. Bitcoin up $670 at 29,570. Let
Well,
me
what a
stop
week,
this.
Joel.
What a week.
Yeah,
What
what a way to end the week here. I mean, you keep saying we'll end the week on the highs or lows, and I don't believe we're going to end the week on the highs here. We're quite a bit far off from that.
have you programmed that into my level calculator yet? Have you come up with a trading system on that, Josh?
Not yet. That's coming. I need to get more on this AI stuff. Need to get the AI to copy Joel and and everything
No
that he
one's
says
ever
on the
been
show.
fired live on air that I've worked with. So we'll give it another week. But talk about your week, how it went from a stock odds perspective. I can just say I've had a decent week. It's just and it's been a lot on the short side, but it's like the 30 handle rally, off that low. I mean, you just,
Yeah.
you're holding out for the big kahuna, and it's a tricky, choppy market. It's working its way down, but it isn't with the rips. How stock odds treating you this week?
Yeah, well, I mean, stock odds is all right this week. I mean, if you tuned into the show earlier this week, I was talking a little bit more about how I've been entering the basket at different times during the week. So I actually entered it on it was between the close of Monday and Tuesday morning that I put it on. And basically by that time, on paper it had decreased. So it did come back up. And on Wednesday, there was some profits in it, but I didn't lock it in. And now it's back down right around down 0.1% for the week, which
Not
isn't
bad.
too bad. I mean, it's looks like it's going to be a losing week, but could have been worse if I did enter it on Monday there. But I mean, yeah, we of course had Tesla and Netflix earnings on Wednesday, and I like to trade some of these earnings after hours. I missed the move on Netflix, but I did then go to Tesla, and I was looking to buy a little break of a little bit of a bull flag after hours there. It failed, and obviously it came back down, and so stopped out before the losses got too bad there. But there's that.
What about your long-term portfolio, Josh? You're a young guy, and you got a lot of years before you retire, unless you come up with the most unbelievable trading system based on my levels. So did you do? I mean, this is a dip. I don't know if this is the dip of dips. Did you add anything to your long-term portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of years ahead of me, so I might as well start adding to the long-term portfolio. I did actually add Tesla a little bit into the long-term portfolio, and this was off of that August low, as well as, I mean, there was another low back in June, right around
Yep.
212.50. And so a little bit got bought up in my longer term portfolio there. I'll be looking to hold that. I mean, the next couple of weeks might be a little bit, might take a little bit of heat on it, but that's at least I'm going to be holding it for a few months to a year. We'll see how that goes. And then another one that I'm looking at more so at adding is Horizon Technology Finance, HRZN. It's I mean, it was doing pretty well and it's coming back down. This is mainly a dividend play. And I mean, dividend plays have been a little bit less appealing now that you can get such a good return if you just go to the bank and ask for some some GICs or term deposits. But it does, when it's come back down here to the 1150 handle, it has about 11 to 12% dividend return there. And it is concentrated on a lot of companies that are, well, a little bit more future focused, a lot of tech based, some healthcare there. And so this is at least one that I'm looking to add as it comes back down here because the dividend yield just keeps getting better and better. So I'm adding that to my long-term portfolio as well. What about you, Joel? Have you added anything to your
Yeah,
long-term?
yeah, I did. Yeah. I bought some more treasuries. I bought some more T-bills. Well,
Very
that's all
nice.
I could do at my old age, man. I just don't have the heart for putting new money to work in this market, and that's what I'm gonna put my money to work and get paid. And I probably went a little bit too farther out. I was really convinced, we might be peaking. I don't know if Rick Santelli's right or not about, how high we're going, but yeah, that's it. Let's get to some movers today and see if we had any good levels. The solar sector.
Oh
Boy,
yeah, I mean SEDG in the solar sector there. I mean, hey, the dip kind of got bought here. You called a pretty good level on this, didn't you, Joel? It was
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if anyone was paying attention. These guys are so busy messing around during the show. But I did give a level, and when things get hairy like that, the only thing you could really do is go to the monthlies, right? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
mean, once you're past the dailies and way below, yeah, you got to look for other levels on the monthlies. Yeah.
so what I did is I went to my trusty trade station charts here, and I looked at a low going back to COVID, and 72.80 was your low in April of 2020. So yeah, Florida is paying attention. So I said, hey, maybe if I was short, I'd stick a bid out there at 72.80, 73. Lo and behold, you went to 72.37 and now you're up 10 stakes on it. I didn't do it. What you have a lot on opens like that is just people puking their guts out. Just like,
Yeah, stops
oh
get
man,
triggered and
yep,
yeah,
I just,
then
yep. I just got to get out. So that was the SEDG. The best in breed here, I have to think, is the First Solar. We talked about that. That got a lot of its losses back here. So I think that's important. Tan got hit, of course, pretty good, but man, oh man, I mean, the bonds are up. Someone mentioned about the TLT. I see the bonds up a little bit today. But I got
just
hurt
a
a little
little.
bit on what was it, on Monday, because I think that the TLT was down, but the market was up, and the correlation just didn't work out. But TLT new low of the move up 41 cents. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take to get a bid here. I mean, you're not getting the flight of quality, in the treasuries, which one would expect at this juncture. But boy, oh boy, and a rough day for the GNRC. Anything that's related to financing here. I mean, this is almost at the bottom of the page here, so I don't know what to tell you about this one.
Yeah, and I mean it's not just the solar or the other the Generacs here, but SMR was another small nuclear reactor or modular nuclear reactor company here, and yeah, they're getting beat up down about well almost 15% right about now on the lows. Yeah, it's not just these small guys, right? The Bears are coming after the Generals. All the
They
big
are.
guys are
Oh
getting
yeah,
beat up too.
I wanted to mention that we're on the lows of the session here. 5150 was my only more than one star here. That was an interday low from October 6th. If you guys remember that, that wasn't the Globex low. It was the interday low, and that was 43.5150. We haven't ticked there yet. 42.52, but just the momentum that we're feeling here sure looks like you're going to get that. If you're looking for another daily low here, that would be the daily low on the same day. I'm the only person that can have two lows of a day. On that October 6th, the go back slow, my final number on my sheet, 42.42 and a quarter. But we're talked about the generals. We talked about the Qs holding up. Dennis is probably kicking himself. An inch short Apple here at 180. The only time, I mean, I could just say here, it's not back at its September low. So, I mean, you can say it's bearish, it's having a bad week, but on a relative strength basis to the S&P, it's holding up. Microsoft, that was holding up until late in the session yesterday, now buried down on the lows for the week. Google, I think, might even hit a new high or just about the high for the week. That's getting hit. Amazon succumbing to selling pressure. That's down $3. Nvidia kind of got things started with earlier in the week. That's down. Tesla down, leading the index on the downside for the third day in a row. Meta, that's it. These are the generals, folks. ExxonMobil, which had its pop. These are all the top components. The S&P, Brick B, that's down. UNH, that's down almost 1%. And then Lilly got a little heads over heels in the upper $600 handles. So this is what you don't want to see. This is the price action you don't want to see when they're coming after the generals here. SP still shaking here, 52. Looks like we're going to get that 51.50 fill here pretty quickly. That was the inter-day low, 17 minutes left in the session.
Yeah, and I mean it's worth noting that Google and Microsoft both report earnings next week, Tuesday after the close, and so that'll at least be another big indicator. I hope the generals don't get beat up on that day as well. But I mean, yeah, speaking of Netflix here, there's I mean they've been chopping around but holding up as well.
Look
Like
at that.
I
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I'm looking towards that gap on the downside if this trend continues. I mean, next week might be a good week for a short on Netflix there. But then flipping over to a little bit of retail here. I mean, Lululemon, I mean, it had quite the run, of course, getting added to the S&P 500. And it looked like it was on its way to fill the gap, but it actually got bought up today. What do you think's going on there, Joel?
Yeah, well, just for the Netflix, we're gonna watch it
Mhm,
hang out a little bit more, right? It's still a nice higher low here from
mhm.
yesterday, even though it's down on the session. You had a much higher low. So what we're gonna look for on this is still a pretty good volume day here. When I'm gonna wait, wow, 100 million of trade. Oh no, this is the monthly volume. What we're gonna do is we're gonna ooh. This is not a good sign for you Netflix traders here. The big day yesterday, the big run up, 28 million shares traded, right? It took it up. But today, it looks like we're only going to get around 11, 12 million. So, you know what? You might be running out of buyers here on this one. We'll keep an eye. The high close and the move, it's going to right around here was a 401.77. So that's a big level. Did make a new high of the move today, going to 410.64. Uh, but now down on the session. The Lulu, I mean, twisted sister here. I mean, you thought it was going to fill the gap, and now it's coming back up to close near the highs of the session. Looks like it's going to be a little trickier on this gap fill with Lululemon. We did take out that interday low at 42.51.50. 42.50 is the current low of the session. Big selling coming in here on the close. The boom, the interday
Imbalances
low
or no?
42.42 and a quarter. You think they'll get there, Josh? I don't know. They're still trying to bounce it here off the 42.50. So you did get filled on the 42.40 51.50, but Probably could still get filled on it now as we head into the final 14 minutes of the session.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably going to make a new low here, and then we might see a little bit of buying, like in the last couple of minutes before the close. But
Okay.
I mean, I'll call it now. We have yeah, another 14 minutes to go here. But sticking with retail, I mean, Victoria's Secret's been running up here. That's a nice trend on the daily chart. Well, on the intraday chart, I should say. VSCO up over 8.5%. Wow.
Who? Well, women are still buying underwear and bras, right? And in negligee. Who is Florida here? Florida, yeah, he is. Florida. Were you asking me about this one today? Because we had man, we got a sharp crowd here in the morning, and they were all over the retail stocks. And I'm like, hey, I thought 1883. I thought they were. I said, boy, that would be a nice target today. Well, the beauty of removing horizontal lines, it busted through that. So, man, the retail, that's a big move. Victoria's Secret on the dailies, I thought maybe would break that winning streak. Now, one, two, three, four, five, 7 days in a row up for that. I know EKS is riding the Coles train. That's up 56. This is so contrary to the consumer slowing down. And maybe these stocks just had been so beat up here that they're rebounding. But Coles having a decent day. Macy's hanging in there up 12 cents. Boom, 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 boom. Costco,
Costco, yep.
Costco's had its run. That's getting hit a little bit, but I mean, if you XRT, there was something in the XRT that's dragging it down. I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to look at the components here, but the XRT, they're bouncing here. I don't know. We may have a low of the day in here at that 42.50. We're trying to bounce, but how many times have we seen these dead cat bounces today?
Yeah, or the last week or almost two, just bouncing all over the place. Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, something that's a little bit retail adjacent is a firm. I mean, it's at least kind of holding up. It's pretty much flat on the day right now as we speak. But this, of course, is the lending company for people to finance all their retail and online purchases there.
Yeah, I own this pig, MQ, man. What a pig. Um, that one ain't ever coming back. A fur wild child. I haven't looked at it in a while. You bottom it in the lower 16. We got a little pop here going on, guys. 42.55 and a quarter. Uh, you're finding support above. Boy, what a weird chart. I mean, you are finding buyers under 17 here. So if you feel like you're not going to get a shot at the October low or a gap fill here, I don't have a problem. You're taking a little step out here. But once again, you got to, we're rolling the week. You got to lean on the low of the week. The low of the week was made today at 1764. You had a couple other daily lows in that area. So you have someone nibbling in that 1775 area, catching a little bounce, not great volume. So, it just, just not a great stock. And, you're fighting overhead supply. If you're just trading this intermediate, then, you can play it for little pops. But it had its day, and I'm not sure where it's going back to.
Yeah, yeah, not sure where it'll end up. I mean, taking a look at some earnings, I mean, yesterday AT&T reported, and they've been holding up, although the pop got sold off earlier today. Didn't you call another level in this, Joel? And what
I
there
did, and
was there
this
was a
was the
promise there, wasn't there?
yes, yes, but it was a 1 day promise. And the promise is if it hit 15 something 73 yesterday, yeah, it hit
Yesterday.
1566. I said if it hit 1573 yesterday, I was going to walk on my hands downtown on the lodge. Well, that was yesterday, 1566. Didn't make it today. Here's Josh's undercutting the low here. 42.50. That's shaking. We just got a 49.5 print. So good call by that Josh there. The sellers are still coming in. The next daily low, the true daily low for that day is 42 and a quarter. And if they do get down to 42 and a quarter, man, I'm just going to have to be a moron and try it. I love to see it in the final 5 minutes, but we'll see. That's only eight
Yeah.
handles away.
Yeah, we'll see. And I mean, I'm trying to look for bright spots here. I mean, we also had Philip Morris, PM, report earnings yesterday, and they're still up 2%. And I mean, as far as move for Philip Morris, it's a pretty decent move. But yeah, the people still like their cigarettes, their nicotine, and all that. That's going to be hard for them to get rid of as the price of everything else goes up.
Someone asked me about that yesterday, and I said the $90 level was good. You got to 90.21 yesterday. So if you were taking a flyer on it, yeah, you got some profits. I think you need to get it up to, I'd be a little bit nervous here that he didn't get up to 94. But that's your resistance. But a good day, smoke them if you got them. So Philip Morris here, it's a bright spot. People are nervous about the market and they're going out and buying their smokes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, gotta calm the nerves a little bit. And I mean, should we look at some earnings coming up here? I mean,
Sure.
yeah, we've got I mean, Monday morning we've got some banks. I mean, well, actually right before that, we should just check in with American Express. What am I even saying? AXP. Yeah, continued to sell off. It's actually just making new lows pretty much as we speak now, down 5%. Wow. What's the next level you're seeing here? Are you looking to the
Oh,
monthlies here?
yeah. Actually, Dennis had this one after hours, and he covered it short. He was short it, and he wanted to talk about it on the show. I wish he would have just kind of forgot about that one because there was a trap door at 149. You had a close yesterday. Wow, this didn't even open near 149. Wow, sellers came in and mass. I wanted to see how Mastercard's doing here real quick. Down $3. That's not getting hit too bad. What I'm looking at here for to go back to the American Express, uh, better pay your bill, they'll really ding you. On the monthlies here, you did breach the low 142.22, 142.72. So you breached that by a little bit of a margin here. Going to 141.83, not getting a bounce yet. Maybe holding out for 140. Actually, 138.77. If you're stepping out here, you better be prepared for a little trip down to 138.77. S&Ps can are just desperately trying to catch a bid, remain above 42.50. It's not happening. We're seeing some selling balances here on the close. People anticipating a low print for the close, selling ahead of it. 48.75 current low.
Yeah. I mean, just in the chat, nice job, you guys calling it out. I mean, a $2.1 billion sell imbalance. I believe that's in the SPY. But yeah, we'll see. There's about just over 5 minutes here till the close. But talking about earnings on Monday, I mean, if you got bored of the Hawaiian Electric trade, we have the Bank of Hawaii reporting on Monday, BOH. And I mean, it gapped down this morning. Maybe that I mean we're almost looking at the monthlies again here. Would you look at the dailies or the monthlies here
Oh
for
man,
some
you got to
levels?
look at the monthlies on this one, and boy, oh boy, there's nothing in here. I mean, you got a pair of monthly lows, but that's down to $39. Nothing there. I mean, the dailies, I just don't like these areas. When you go up quickly through an area, you can go down quickly through an area. I mean, you got to figure, an ancillary play on the Maui fires. No one's doing any transactions out there, right? Or very little business, after the fact, Jack. Thinking about that one. Hawaiian Electric, you get these kind of things, you get these kind of moves. And I remember people, oh, do you think it'll go back to $15? And I just say, look at the PCG card. And, when stocks do get the do get those kind of wallopings, it's hard to come back. That thing's just been very quiet over the last few years, last
Yeah.
several years. Look at that tight trading range. S&Ps once again trying to rally here. Easy Mike's talking about the geopolitical this weekend. That's got to have people nervous. I did see Hamas did release 2 American hostages, whatever the heck that means. I don't know. But that seems like Israel's showing some restraint as far as the all out ground wars. So we'll see what kind of volatility we get over the weekend.
Yeah, we'll definitely I mean, hopefully nothing too bad comes out over the weekend, but I mean, trying to stay on a positive note here. I mean, Monday after the close, we have Cleveland Cliffs, CLF, reporting earnings there, and I mean, it's holding up today, and you've kind of got a few lows the last few
Yep.
days, holding up, yeah, right around that 1420 level there. So I mean, is that a level that you'd look at,
Yeah,
Joel?
3 lows in the same area pretty much for the Clifford. People squaring off the shorts ahead of the report. So I like that area on a dip. Let's just call it 1420. That's not a bad looking area. The thing more important, I think, is this X here. And man,
Mm.
Dennis mentioned this earlier in the week that, you don't know when a deal's coming. You don't know what's going to happen. And with these kind of things, a bird in the hand, you take it. This thing got over $34 consolidated here, and now it's pulling back. So, wow, I don't know. I mean, this thing, boom, no deal. You're back at 22, $23. So, something to keep in mind. Holding out for those mergers, holding out just a little bit too long could, it's not always in your best interest. You may miss out on some, but on the other hand, when these deals fall through, then you're not caught holding the bag.
Yes, yeah, don't want to get caught holding the peg there. Not at all. We also have CDNS, Cadence Design Systems, reporting Monday after the close here. I'm just pulling it up on
What's the
my end
symbol
as
on
well.
that one?
CDNS,
See,
Cadence Design Systems. And I mean, they've been selling off here. They're off their highs, although they're still pretty close to their all-time highs here. So I mean, we'll see what the earnings report has in store for them. But it's a little bit of a lower volume stock. It's not super widely traded intraday, but at least it can have some good moves if you're holding it overnight.
yeah, I mean, if you're a nervous purvis, I mean, this thing is pretty darn close to new all-time highs. Street leaning short into the report here, just taking profits on the dailies. So, little, I don't like the super high price stocks like that. So, just being note street leaning short into this report. We are entering the final minute here, folks, and we're going to be closing darn near the lows of the session. Just not a good day, just not a good week. The market here just been under selling pressure. The bonds are just too much for this. Just a bad week, man. Closing right near the lows of the session. We'll see what happens on the geopolitical front. Looks like we're going to close right at near the lows, and there's some big Russia buyers coming in here. We're looking at the last 25 seconds of the session, 42.51. I mean, it is tight here. Sure looks like you're going to get stopped out on the lows. That's what you get for trying to pick a bottom in the last minute. New lows right into the closing bell. Not a good day, not a good week for the market. We are closed. I'm going to call it
Yeah.
42, 48 and a half right off the lows of the session, and the selling continues. Josh, great job today. Thanks for helping me out here on the closing print. Maybe I'll get that 42 and a quarter now. There's still a lot of selling going on, but everyone relax, have a good weekend, and we'll be back with you on Monday morning.
Yes, we will. That was a nice horse race, Bulls versus Bears rundown at the end there. Well done. Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
Okay.